Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another PFL fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting some of the key fights for PFL 2021 number 6 regular season Harrison versus Dandois. And yes, that's a very long intro, but you know how they be setting these events up for PFL. But that's beside the point. Let's get into the predictions. So the first fight that I'll be predicting is in the featherweight division, Lance Palmer versus Movlid Khabulaev. And how I see this prediction right here is I think Palmer is coming off a loss to Bubba Jenkins. So, and in a fight he lost heavily due to wrestling, and that's usually advantage he typically has over his opponents, and typically a path that he uses to find his victories in fights. So I feel he's coming in this one a little bit demoralized, but also motivated. But again, when you take a loss, it does mess up your momentum. He came into this tournament a 2-time champ, and there has been setbacks in his career, and he has always bounced back pretty well. But I think stylistically wise, I think Movlid Khabulaev is not the best bounce back fight for him, because Movlid I definitely think can match him in the wrestling, or at least cancel him out. I don't know how they would match him in a pure wrestling matchup. I probably might lean to Palmer in that, but I really think it's more going to be a case of they're going to cancel out in the wrestling for the most part. Both of them might get a takedown or two here and there, or might go for a takedown or 2 or 5 or whatnot, but not the greatest success as far as wrestling on either man's side. It might be just a little bit of a factor to lean it to the other one between the fight, but it's not going to be a case where it's going to be he won because of his wrestling for either guy, or the main reason he won was because of wrestling. It's going to be maybe a small deciding factor, or maybe a big deciding factor, but it's not going to be the sum of all things in the fight, is what I'm saying. So with this one, I think Movlid Khabulaev is the better striker, a little bit larger, and definitely more active and more confident in his striking, more composed and more credited in his striking than Palmer. So I feel like he's going to let his hands go a bit more. And he takes more risks. By no means is Palmer slouching his striking, even though a lot of times he can be so comfortable with just not even using his striking. He still works on it, still getting better in striking at all times. He's got a lot of power, and you got to respect what he brings. But I think Khabulaev is just going to take more risks, be the better striker, be more active, and by being more active, let his strikes go, he's going to be the one out striking Palmer. One thing I will knock against Khabulaev is that in his draw to Andre Harrison, he looked good early, real good early, but the moment Harrison even hurt him, not even dropped him, but tagged him with 2 good shots, he instantly went on the back foot a lot. He instantly lost the same confidence he had just from getting tagged. So that's concerning, but I feel like Khabulaev is going to just simply outwork Palmer. I think he's going to be able to outstrike him, lead the dance, be more active, take more risks, take more shots, put more higher output. I definitely think he'll catch him with that flying knee, or at least be able to touch him with it, or come close to it, and have Palmer dinking when he's going for these takedowns, or when he's dipping his head. And I feel like Khabulaev would throw a couple overhands, get him to duck, get him to react, and try to set up that flying knee that he's so known for. And I do think he will land it. I don't think it's going to be an if or what. I think he will land the knee, I think, around the second round. It might come close to a stoppage, but I think Palmer will be able to survive, rally, and try to hold onto a leg and recover. But I think from that point on, Khabulaev dominates the fight, but Palmer just hangs in there, and Khabulaev gets the decision victory in this one. So in this one, I have Movlid Khabulaev via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the co-main event, Anthony Pettis versus Rosh Monfils in the lightweight division. And how I see this one right here is really looking at Rosh Monfils. He's talking about he's going to do this and talking about he's going to do that. And really at this point, a lot of times when UFC fighters or WEC fighters or these big name fighters go to these other organizations, they definitely do start to suffer, and you start to see them, especially because they're going there not at the peak of their careers, but when they're on the downtrend. So these other fighters just coming there licking their chops to get a big name on their record and say, oh, I'm just as good as UFC. I'm good as this. I'm good as that. I'm one of the best fighters. And organizations look to have these fighters build off these big stars that are on the downtrend. So you got to worry. Everybody got a good chance. And Monfils does have some good dinks to him. He's got some good strength, got some good power. If he's aggressive and wants it more, he can beat Pettis. Definitely could beat Pettis. But outside of just being strong, having some decent strength, decent grappling, and decent power, it really ain't much to Monfils. He's not no super big fighter. Not a super big pace, not a super great striker, not a super great offensive grappler. He's in no areas he's really great, and really all he can really offer Pettis is half-baked pressure, a little bit of power, and pressure. That's about it. He had like not really have no great technical advantages over Pettis. I think Pettis can literally beat it. I think Pettis can out grapple him. I think Pettis can outstrike him. Pettis is faster, sharper, more technical in just about every single facet of the game, and more experienced. Monfo is younger, but the skills just aren't there for me. What I'm saying, like when I try to look for an angle to maybe try to pick Monfio or see where he could win, like I said, it's more so a thing about Pettis than Monfio. Monfio doesn't really present anything. He's just like a low tier fighter when I'm looking at him. Well, not low tier, but he's definitely not the highest of caliber fighter, and definitely doesn't present the highest, the biggest threat to what Pettis in this one. So in this one, I think Pettis is going to be able to find his shots on him, be able to stick, be able to move, and be able to. But yeah, I was trying to stop it for a second, but it is what it is. We're going to hear these background noises. I got to record when I can record, and I'm going to get this out in and out here. But yeah, Pettis, I feel like he can outstrike him, find his mark on him, be much faster, be much sharper, and be able to find some good clean shots, not just some get him when you could get him shots, but like some good clean flush shots, like some dig into the liver with some kicks, slam some kicks up top. And I think he could get a finish, and I think he will get a finish over Monfio in this one. And I see it in third round. Seems like typically as of late right now, Pettis has not been getting these, really hurting his opponent until late. So I feel like it's gonna be a case where he outstrikes him through two. Then the third round, he's really able to find his clean shots and like catch a tired, a little bit lax opponent in Monfio and put him out in the third round. So in this one, I got Anthony Pettis via third round TKO. Now to our main event, we have in the women's lightweight division, Kayla Harrison versus Cindy Dandois. And how I see this one right here is really what does Cindy Dandois even bring to Kayla Harrison? She got some decent jiu-jitsu, but really all about her is her size. Like she's a real good big 155er, got some good size on her. And at one point she was a 145er. So even then she's not the biggest anymore because she's fighting a big woman in Kayla Harrison who's probably gonna be bigger than her, or at least maybe not vertically, but overall this is the bigger, stronger woman. But at 145, Dandois was like, this big, goofy-looking woman. Like, she had size on her, and she had some decent grappling credentials, decent grappling skills, pillow hands. But, when you're bigger than somebody, you got some grappling, you can put some wins on there. You can upset a couple people. You can get some victories, but it's not going to take you all the way to, anywhere. It's going to get you a couple wins, keep you around, but that's about it. So going against Kayla Harrison, I don't think, Kayla Harrison can out-grapple her with ease. And if Kayla Harrison really wanted to get like a knockout performer, like to go out and just strike purely and show some other wrinkles in her game, this is a fight where she could do that. But I think in the case where Kayla Harrison already said she's not going to be one of those people that's going to forget where she came from and where got her to the dance. So she's going to go out there and continue to go out there, take these women down, throw them around, and submit them. And I think it's going to be the same with Cindy Dandois. Like I said, Dandois, more than even her grappling, is her size, really. And that was at 145. So I think Kayla Harrison's going to be able to throw her around with relative ease, pound on her, then tap her out, and I think she does it in the second round. First round fill out, second round just follow through. So in this one, I got Kayla Harrison via second round submission. And that completes my fight predictions for PFL 2021, event number 6, regular season, Harrison versus Dandois. And as always, thanks for watching.